Hello, 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 yes, zu-wii-mama is back, and how are all my builders out there doing today? I hope you're having a great day, and I just want to quickly show you this actually before we get on to things. That's the iron golem I've made so far. I've started putting detail work on there, so there is a lot of people out there obviously requesting a lot of mobs, so just be patient because I am getting through them, right? So the iron golem will be coming very shortly. I just need to sort of finish the back sort of parts of the detailed work on it and some on the face, and then that one's pretty much good to go, right? So whoever out there is requesting that one, just bear in mind I get a lot of requests from people, so yeah, it does take a little while to obviously make these mobs and then make the video. So but anyway, as you can see by the thumbnail, you can see a classic villager. So we've gone with, again, it was another request that I had some time back, so I thought I'd better get ahead and sort of make it. As we're doing a little flyby, you might notice a new mob on the end there on the right hand side, which it's the new mob that will be coming out in the update. So yes, I have started building that guy. And you know, I've had to go off a few various different pictures and sources that I've seen, but yeah, it's coming along. There's still a lot more work to go on that one, but anyway, back to the villager. He is sort of relatively basic, I guess, as a classic villager is. There's not really much more to say about it, but yeah, let's get on to the colours, shall we? Kicking things off with 34 grey terracotta. Look at that, baby. Oh yeah, so we got two snow blocks, so yeah, pretty cool. 107 brown terracotta. It may be a little bit more, maybe a little bit less because my counting is awful. 132 white terracotta. And again, some of these big numbers, 22 terracotta. Some of these bigger numbers, there might be a slight variation. 2 red terracotta, because I can't really count and there's that many blocks. 2 green terracotta, that is. I'm forgetting what colours I'm using now. 423 brown concrete, that was. 90 brown wool. What else we got here? We've got 24 cyan terracotta. I'm trying to look down at a list that I already previously read. 24 light grey concrete, because I wouldn't be able to remember all these blocks to save my life. And 2 clay, and that is your blocks for today. So we're going to start off with placing 2 cyan terracotta like that. We're going to place a little bit of grey like so, and then we're going to switch back to the cyan terracotta, and this is going to come across by a total of 8 by the time we finish it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to build most of it for you now, and then I'm going to sort of like briefly pause the video in a sense, and you can copy the pattern down. But I mean, if you want to follow along at the same time, then go for it, because I'm not particularly going too fast. I'm actually going quite a slow pace. So again, like I said, it's a total of 8 across. And now all we're going to do is use a combination of brown concrete and brown terracotta to sort of fill in the next sort of section. So we're going to do a row of brown terracotta and then fill in 3 layers of brown concrete like that, and should have something looking a little bit like this at that point. And we'll do a nice little pause section there. So if you're new around here, just remember, all you need to do is pause the video at the right stages, copy that pattern down, and then all you're going to do is unpause it and carry on to the next stage. So now we're going to swing on to the side, and this side's relatively simple. We're going to come out by a total of 4 blocks. And again, I'm going to do a nice little pause section shortly, so don't worry and don't frantically start panicking, thinking, oh, I need to hurry up, because I'm going to move on, you know, the video is going to keep going. Don't worry, we're going to pause it in a minute so you can sort of get that pattern and move on to the next section. So that's not really, you know, there's not really much more to say about the sort of feet base area. It's quite self-explanatory. So I guess we'll just waffle on about random stuff for the time being. Why not? So yeah, like I said, I've been working on the new mob, I guess, that you can see in the background there, flashes of it. If you stick around to the end of the video, I'll sort of give you a bit of a better look at the mob that I've started building. And again, it was quite tricky because I've had to sort of go off a few different sources and a few different pictures that I've come across, because obviously, as you know, the update is not out yet, so I can't have a proper good look at this mob yet, unfortunately. And I know there's the piglin beast and the piglin, I believe, unless they change the names, because who knows, because sometimes they always end up doing that anyway. So now we're sort of coming to the end of this sort of leg section. I'm gonna need to explain to you what's going on this next section. So after this little pause. Beep boop, beep boop, beep boop, beep boop, beep boop, beep boop. These pause sections are quite long, aren't they? I might need to shorten them down a little bit. Anyway, so there we go. And what we're going to do now is we're going to actually build the main part of the body. So we're going to come from the edge here, and we're going to come out by 1 block, and then we're going to whip this all the way round by 1 block. So this should be overhanging by 1 all the way round, okay? That's all you need to do for now. And then we're going to go up from this corner by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 blocks high that should be. And I hope I counted them right. I'm pretty sure I did. And boom, look at that. Boo! And that is our pause section. And yes, you can see I've even gone to the lengths of adding all these little black grids on there because I thought it might be a little bit easier, because beforehand I was sort of doing a pause section and I sort of looked at it and thought, well, hold on, they ain't gonna be able, you know, people are not gonna be able to see how many blocks, particularly when there's a lot of the same color. It's hard to distinguish how many's there. So I figured I'll do this nice little grid. Yeah, it takes me a little bit more time, but who cares? Just so it's a bit easier for you. So how about that, eh? How about that? And all you need to do is, like I said, on all sides, pause it. You know by now, come on, you know the score. You've been building my mob since day 1, so you must know that is how we do it round here. So now all we now have to do is going to sort of build the arms. So as always, the pink sections are just random blocks you can place there. So for now, what we're going to do is going to copy this pattern. So you're going to come out by 3, a section of 2, a section of 2, and then a 1, and then we're going to put a layer of wool like that. So it should be coming out by 3 blocks in total and a 1 block gap either side. So the best thing to do here is really just copy what I'm doing. I'm going to go at a very, very slow pace for you to sort of follow along. So there we go. So it's a section of 4 there, so a block of 4 blocks. And then we're going to spin on round to the front, and from this block here we're going to come out by a further 2, and then imagine we're doing another block there, and that's part of it. So we're going to come down by another 2 blocks and then come across by a total of 4. So it should be we're going to switch the wool, mix it up a little bit, put a little bit of wool there, and then just finish that one off like so. So like I said, just imagine there's 2 sections there of 4 lots. 2 sections of 4. Does that make sense? Don't worry if you don't understand what I'm jabbling on about, because guess what? We're going to do a nice little pause section in a minute anyway. So don't worry and panic if you haven't copied the pattern down, because I will be pausing it in a second. And I've put one of my fancy little grids on there just to make things a little bit easier. So here we go. There we go. Look at that. Pretty snazzy, eh? As long as you've come out by a total of 3 blocks from the top of the shoulders there, you can't go wrong. And all we're going to do now is literally fill in all these gaps with some brown concrete. So as you can see, all the pink sections, we're going to pull that all the way across, and we've got no nasty little gaps there. And then pull that across, and there we go. Looking cool, looking very good. So now we're going to spin on round to the front, and we're going to sort of mess around on this side for a bit now. So we're going to do the inner part of the arm. So what you want to do is we're going to just copy this pattern down really. Just I'm going to go very, very slow. And then, yeah, I'm sure you can understand what I'm doing here. There we go. So it's going to come out a total of 3 all the way across. And then we're going to now just fill it in with some brown concrete yet again. And there we go. So that's just a bit of shading we've done there, really. Just a bit of, you know, just make it look like where he's crossed his arms. Obviously, it just gives it that a bit more depth to the build rather than it just being a flat colour. It sort of gives the impression that there is a bit of darkness there, because obviously he's folding his arms after all, isn't he? So we want to make it look a bit more realistic rather than it not being. And again, we're going to start from that odd block there. There was meant to be a pink block there, but for some reason I didn't place one there. And they're going to come out by a total of 3 blocks, 2, 2, and then a 1. And then we're going to finish it off wrapping it round with a nice little bit of wool. And it should look something like that from the top. And again, like I said, as long as that comes out by a total of 4 from the main body, you can now put on this pattern. And again, with the with this side as well, we're going to do a nice little pause section as well. So don't panic if you don't get it all down. And so there's the first little block of 4. And then we're going to now imagine these 2 are part of the next block. And we're going to do this, and I'm going to do this a little bit quicker this time. I'm actually going to use the wool, and then I'm going to do like a nice little staircase in a sense. Yeah, it's like a Minecraft stairwell, stairs. There we go, and whip that round, and then we're just going to wrap this all the way around with some black concrete, brown concrete all the way around like that. Pop one on there, and there we go. Same effect, and it's done just like the other one. And boom! Look at that. Nice little pause section yet again. There we go. Okay, so we're nearly there. So congratulations you got to this point, because we have not got long left. So all we're going to do again is literally just fill in all these gaps with some brown concrete, like we have done on the other side. We're going to do the front of the arms, and then that's pretty much it. All we need to do is pop on this guy's head, and that is your classic villager all done and dusted. So now switching back to your brown terracotta like we previously did on the other side, we're going to do a nice little row of it coming down, trickling down the arm, and again, like I said, it's just about that sort of shading. It just gives it a nice little effect. I don't like just doing a flat colour, because it's just a bit boring, and you can't really see or distinguish between the arm and the sort of the chest area. So I figured it's nice just adding a little bit of colour there. It just gives it a little bit of a better effect, doesn't it? Right, once we've done that, we should have something looking like that. It looks very odd, I must admit. It looks like a little T-Rex with his little arms up. But yeah, what we're going to do now is, so from this section here, we're going to use 2 grey terracotta, then a brown terracotta on the end, and then we're going to fill this all up with brown concrete. And then you can do underneath the arms as well. So you should have these little gaps, you can fill them in. And then switching back to the other side, we're going to do all the way across again with the brown concrete. So this bit's nice and simple, quick as well. Look at that. And there we go. So once you've done that, now we're going to go from the sort of front side, I guess we're going to do. And I placed that there wrong by mistake, so I apologise. Get your brown wool, and you're going to place 3 like there, and then 1 like that. And then we're going to do a bit of that, like that, looking cool. Back to the other side, we're going to do something a little bit different this side, but it's got the same effect. And then pretty much we're just going to fill it all in with brown concrete. So you can see we have used a lot of brown concrete on this build, and that's why I said when I went through the blocks earlier, there may be a little variation of I might have counted a little bit too more or a little bit too less, because I lost count several times when I was counting out these blocks, I must admit. So yeah, there's definitely room for errors, and yeah, there's definitely room for error in my builds here, right? So we're just going to bring this little line up a little bit, and this is going to be like where his hands sort of fold over, I guess. And we're going to place a little bit of that there, bit more brown terracotta, fill this in with some brown concrete, and boom, look at that. I'm going to do a little pause section, just then you're crystal clear on what exactly is going on here. And there we go, look at that. So really, and we do a little pause section here as well. Just then, like I said, you know what you're doing, and it's all good. Right, so that is it pretty much. We're now just going to pop on this guy's head, and it is very simple. So we're going to come from 1 block in from the end there, and then overhang it by 1, and we're going to bring that all the way across. And then remember, 1 block in from the edge of the body there, and then bring that to the back all the way out by 1, and then overhang it, and then we whip this back round, and we're going to go up by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 blocks high. And really, this is so super easy. All you're going to do is go boo, and again I've put these nice little black lines on this, and you can see, but really, as long as you've got the sort of bottom half of the face done, the rest of it is all just white terracotta, as you can see. So there we go, look at that. And yes, he is not Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer or Pink-Nosed Reindeer. He's actually going to have a proper villager nose. So on that pink spot that you can see there, place any old block there just for now, and then you're going to whack on terracotta for the nose, and that is your classic villager done. So congratulations, you have now got a classic villager mob in your world. And spinning around quickly, this is a new mob that I've been working on. I'm dying to know what you think, so please leave some comments in the comment section and let me know what you think of this build so far. I've been zu-wii-mama, I'll see you soon.